Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Floyd T, back with another video. This video is going to be on air fried breaded whole chicken wings. So the story behind this is I watched some YouTube videos, Miss Brazil, like her channel, on how to do these chicken wings in the air fryer that look like they were fried in a skillet. So I looked at a few videos, kind of put my own spin on it. And last Friday, which was about 8 days ago, I did some, and they turned out beautiful. And I put them on my Instagram and Facebook story, and just said, "Hey, people, watch this. Look at this. Let me know if you'll watch a video on how to make these." And I got a lot of people hit me up, say, "Hey, man, I got to see how you make these breaded wings." And they look good. They look good, and they look just like they are fried. So I'm gonna show you how to do that today. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to the seasoning. All right, folks, let's get to how to season these chicken wings. So today's Saturday in Atlanta, and it's a nice day outside. So when it's nice and it's not raining, people are always in the streets handling business, running errands, and that's been me all day as well. So what I'm going to do is season the chicken now and then fry it later. Just let it marinate. Some people will say, "Hey, it's a dry seasoning. It don't matter if you season them now or before you do it." Anyway, I'm doing it now. I just like to do it that way. So here is everything you're gonna need to do these air fryer breaded chicken wings. You need chicken wings, first of all, and you want to have them dry. I rinsed these off and then I dried them. Just pat them dry with a paper towel. Some people say don't rinse your meat. I rinse my meat. It's just me. You do what you want to do in your house. So this is the chicken. As far as seasoning it, I'm not going to go all in like I normally do, but I'm going to use a little bit. Some Cajun seasoning, because I want a little Cajun flavor, and this seasoning is very potent. Black peppercorns, or just pepper, brown pepper. Garlic powder, onion powder, and when it's time to air fry the wings, you're going to need a breading. Some people use flour. They have so many different kinds of chicken breading. They got the Louisiana brand. This is Andy's. I found this at Kroger, and this is what I used to do the last batch I did last week that looked beautiful. So I have a little bit left. It should be enough to do these wings. I tried to find another bag of this and I couldn't, but this should be enough. I think if you do run out of breading, you can just throw some flour or something else in there with it to fluff it up. It'll still kind of give you the same thing, but this breading just looks good. And the seasoning itself, when the seasoning's actually outside of the chicken, is pretty good. And you also want some kind of spray oil. I use canola, but you can also use like olive oil or something similar. As long as it's a spray, that helps while you're doing the chicken. And you'll see how I use this, and you'll see this in a lot of other videos that people also do these air fryer chicken wings. So what I do is I just throw all the seasoning on and mix it up with my hands. That's my style of seasoning. It seems to have the same effect as seasoning each piece by piece. So you can see me doing this, and I'm gonna try to keep my hands out the way so you can see what I'm actually doing over here. Should be about enough right there. Next, gonna hit it with some garlic powder. And I'm not really measuring now, but I have to say this is maybe what, about a teaspoon? I don't know. A little bit of onion powder. Garlic powder, onion powder. I pretty much put that on just about every damn thing I cook. About the same amount. Probably a teaspoon maybe. Gonna grind up some black peppercorns. I thought about using black pepper just because it'll be a little smaller and stick to the breading, but this should do the same thing. So we're going to grind up a little bit of this. Yep, I'm still grinding. That should be about enough. And normally when I do fried chicken with or cook chicken or when I grill it, I do a lot of grilling as you can see on my channel. I normally put some kind of binder on the chicken before I season it, such as olive oil or even hot sauce. I use that sometimes on meat too as my secret weapon when I'm cooking on the grill. But if you want to get crispy breaded wings out of the air fryer, you want your chicken to be as dry as possible. You know, after you rinse it or whatever you do, you want to dry it off and have it dry. That's going to help the skin dry a little bit. And it'll help you out when it's time to actually put these in the air fryer. So now that these are here, I'm just going to mix them up. And plus, that helps the seasoning stick when you use those other things, you know, olive oil, whatever binder. But right now, the seasoning will still stick. But I'm just not going to use a binder because I want the wings to be dry. So now I'm just going to mix them up with my hands. And I like to mix them good, so I'll sit here and do this for sometimes like 3 minutes or so, but it's only about, I think, 11 to 12 wings here. So it don't take a whole lot to mix them up. So they're already getting good and mixed, and hopefully you can see that. And yes, I am vigorous with my hands and my wings, because I just mentally feel that this is going to get the seasoning into them a little more. That's probably not true, but that's just my style of doing things. So mixing it on up, just like that. And they look about good and mixed. There we go. And my kitchen is a mess, so you're only going to see this part of it until we get to the air fryer. Then you'll get to see another part of my messy kitchen. But hey, man, that's just me. All right, I think that's good. So you can now see what the wings look like. I'm trying to hold up to the camera. It's all mixed in. And also, when it comes to seasoning, just season it the way that you like to season it. You know, that's what I can say. You know, your seasoning. However you season your chicken at Taze, you can season your chicken that way. This is just what I use. That won't affect the outcome. Some people like to dip it in egg before they bread it and all that. I don't do that because I just want the skin to be dry. So now what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to put them in the fridge uncovered. Normally I would cover it with saran wrap when I'm doing grilling or something for marinating, but I'm going to put these in there uncovered just so they can kind of air out and dry just a little bit more. They won't be dry, like dry, but that'll help them air out just a little bit and make them ready for the air fryer. So here's the chicken, and I'm gonna put this in the fridge for a few hours while I run some errands. Then I'll come back later and show you how to fry them. Okay, folks, these wings have been sitting in the refrigerator for about maybe 3 hours while I handle some business, as I mentioned. As you can see, they are kind of dry, a little bit drier than they were. I left them uncovered, and that's exactly how I want them to look. So the next step in these air fried breaded whole wings is to apply the chicken breading. This should be sufficient for these, so I'm just gonna put it over them and mix it up. Yeah, that should be good and plenty. So let's mix this up. Try to get them coated as much as possible. There is a little bit of moisture still on them because I feel it. So I'll give these a mix and then pour a little bit more on there. Just get them covered as much as you can. As long as a little bit is on them, that's fine. It'll still brown. They don't have to be totally the same color as the breading, but you know, you want to get just a good mix on it. Probably just a little bit more. I'm not the neatest, so excuse the mess. And you can shake these up in a shaker or in a bag, however you want to do them. I find this way works just as well. And I'll just take the powder at the bottom and mix it up. But this is pretty much good. Everything pretty much has some breading on it, as you can see. So that's good, that's sufficient enough. And I may sprinkle a little bit more powder on them while I'm waiting on the air fryer to heat up. So the next step will be to prepare the air fryer, and then we'll throw these in. Stay tuned. Alright guys, here's my air fryer. It is a Ultrean, and this is pretty huge. This is pretty huge. I don't know if this is what, maybe 6, 7, 8 quarts. I don't know, but it's pretty big. You know, I don't know if you can see how big this thing is, but it's pretty big. So what I've done is I preheated it for about 1.5 minutes. And I have this turned towards you guys so you can actually see the air fryer. So I put parchment paper in there, and I don't have the parchment paper where the holes are already cut out. So as you can see, I just take a knife and I just put my own holes in it. And you know, with an air fryer, one of the good things about it is it cooks with airflow. So you want air to really go under your food as well. So I try to put these in there to help with the airflow. But it also helps to clean up. So what I'm going to do is place my parchment paper in, and I'm going to cut off the ends of the paper just a little bit because the heating element is up above in the air fryer. So if this paper is too wide or too long, it'll bump up there and burn a little bit. If you haven't done that before, then it's pretty fine. Not really. Anyway, so what we're going to do is, we got the chicken breaded right here from earlier. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put some pieces in here, as many as I can fit. So what I'm going to do first is just add just a little bit more breading to the chicken. It's kind of been sitting, so it's been a little bit of moisture has kind of soaked up some of the breading. So just put a little bit more in. Gonna mix that around. And then I'm gonna start putting these into the air fryer. Let me see if I can get the camera a little bit closer. There you go. Let's see, so you can kind of see what I'm going to be doing. Okay, that's good enough. So what I'm doing, I'm gonna place these in. And instead of folding them like I normally do when I grill, I'm just going to put them in open. So I'm not going to fold the wings. I'm going to cook these in 2 batches, and I'm going to put them all on the same side so that when I'll flip them halfway through, and I'll know which ones I flipped yet, which ones I haven't. So I want to try to leave as much room as possible in here. And I'm going to do 2 batches. So it looks pretty good. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wings in here. So that means 1 more wing will be going in to have 2 equal batches. And I want to try to make some room so they're not too jumbled up, because you want some little air between them as much as possible. I think that'll do. Now the key step to this is to get your spray oil from earlier, and you want to spray the wings. You know, just give them a good spray. Not necessarily soak them down, but you want to give them a good little spray so that each wing is visibly been sprayed. And that's good right there. So now I'm going to go ahead and put them in the air fryer. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do 10 minutes on each side at 400. And we're going to let those cook. Sorry, I didn't have the camera up for that. 400 at 10 minutes. And I'll show you halfway through what they look like. Okay, so we're halfway through, as you can see. And I'm about to flip these over and then spray them down with some more oil. But just look at that color. That's amazing color. As you flip them over, you see that some of them, you see that the other side still has a little bit of the powdered breading, but that's okay. We're going to take care of that. So what I'm going to do is spray this other side down like that, like so. And then they're going back in for about another 10 minutes. Let you see my air fryer. The mighty Ultrean. And there we go. So about 10 more minutes. And when I take these out, they're going to be amazing. So I can't wait to show them to you. Okay, I am cameraman again, holding this in my hand. Are you ready to see the finished product? Let's check them out. Wow. Now, don't those look like they've been deep fried? That's pretty much it. It's pretty easy. Pretty easy. So I'm going to plate these up. And thanks you guys for watching. You got all the steps. Like, subscribe, and share. I'm trying to grow this channel, man, so help me out. Let's check them out in the light. There we go.